deep inside of yourself that you're meant to do something absolutely no one has ever done before. And that's just what this week's UU of the Week did. Maria Cook was born in 1779. She was raised in Western New York with her parents and siblings. From an early age, Maria knew that the idea of God she had was not the same as her parents. She felt a longing in her heart to talk about the God she knew, one based in love, a God who loved people so much, regardless of their race, gender, or class. All were equal and loved in the eyes of her God. Her family did not approve. After her father's death, Maria decided to take charge of her own life, wanting only the approval of her God, not her family. Maria's father left her an inheritance, so she was free to travel as she pleased. In 1811, Maria attended the meeting of the Western Association, the organizing arm of the Universalist in central New York. Many who were in attendance opposed the idea of her speaking. Obviously, women couldn't preach. But she had some friends in the audience who vouched for her ability. She was such a commanding presence that they offered her an informal fellowship letter. While this was not the same thing as a license to preach, it was the closest any Universalist woman would come to the Universalist ministry in the next 58 years. Maria began to tour Universalist pulpits, preaching her love of God to whoever would listen. She was considered for a time the highest paid itinerant preacher in the state, receiving more money in the offering plate each time when she preached than most of her fellow male counterparts. Her popularity did not come without a cost, however. One minister, Paul Dean, was ambitious and did not like the attention that Maria was drawing each time she reached a pulpit. Full of disdain, Paul went about slandering her whenever he could. Maria was so aggrieved that in an act of protest, she publicly destroyed her letter of fellowship. This feud, however, caused Maria to stray from her original calling, preaching about her idea of a loving God. She became consumed with preaching only about her right to preach. Unsurprisingly, people stopped wanting to listen to her, and she was not offered as many speaking engagements. It was a difficult time. In 1813, Maria went to live with some friends in Oswego, New York, to revitalize her career. In Oswego, she was issued a complaint for vagrancy for being a woman who dared to preach in churches. She was arrested, and in another act of protest, she refused to move. She had to be carried everywhere, to the paddy wagon to take her away, to the magistrate or judge. She refused to answer any of the questions and was jailed for contempt of court. Once in jail, however, she recognized that she had another unique opportunity and began to preach her message of a God who loves all to the prisoners and jailers. Her imprisonment became an embarrassment for the state, and they released her after a few weeks. After being jailed, she returned home, not wanting to preach anymore after all of that. She wanted to create a socialist, idyllic community for people to live and work together in peace. Maria's attempts were unsuccessful, but the creation of a utopian community is one that we will see time and again within Universalist and Unitarian people, like the Transcendentalists out of Massachusetts. Maria became ill and died in 1835. She is remembered as the first Universalist woman to stand in front of a pulpit and share her ideas of faith and service to one another. She was radical and opened doors for the women behind her. May her memory live on in all those who feel a longing in their hearts. Thank you for joining us for another edition of UU of the Week. To find out more, visit us at uuoftheweek.org.